Have you given up on your personal brand? Well, don't give up just yet. I've generated millions of views for multiple different clients across multiple different platforms. And the reason most people give up is because they don't know where to start. Staying to the end of this video will give you the exact formula that I use with my clients to help them grow their personal brand. Now, I call this formula or framework the NVP Framework, which stands for niche, viewer, and purpose. Once you understand those three things in detail, you can start growing your personal brand. Let's start off on P, which stands for purpose. And we start off here because we can't determine our niche or our viewer without first starting with our purpose for our brand. Your purpose is the why behind your personal brand. Why does your personal brand matter to you? Why do you want to do what you want to do? Why do you care about this, right? Building your personal brand in the first place. If you don't have a clear purpose for your personal brand, you can't even start building it. So do not start posting or amplifying your personal brand, meaning putting it out into public, unless you have a clear purpose that you understand, that you feel, because remember, this is your purpose. This is about your why. I want to give you guys a quick story about my why and the purpose for why I am doing this. I want to help business owners and creatives build their personal brand because I was once lost building my own personal brand. About 10 years ago in high school, when I was 15, I started making music and I started making rap music. Started to gain a little bit of traction, but I ended up not having a clear path on how to move forward because I didn't build my personal brand. I didn't understand the core concepts behind doing that. So I get it. Trust me, I've been there. It was really frustrating because it got thousands of plays and I actually started making money from it, but I couldn't amplify that brand that I was building because I didn't have the right system in place. And I don't want you to feel like that. Unfortunately, I didn't make it as a successful rapper, but that's okay because 4 years ago, I started my business ATownDown, which helps business owners, creatives, and entrepreneurs strategize and organize their own personal brands because I want to help them get real business outcomes. I want to help them make a ton of money. That is my why. That is my purpose. And that very purpose is what pushes me through whenever times get tough because I've been there. I've been that struggling creator who just has no idea what to do. And that same fire is what fuels me to keep pushing me through. That's why it's so important to start with your purpose. So now that you've clearly defined your purpose, we can move on to niche. Your niche is a playground, not an anchor. Now, if you actually want to grow your personal brand, you need to identify your strengths and start there. For example, I am not a fitness influencer. I will not speak on or be making fitness content. This is for business owners. This is for entrepreneurs because that is what I'm interested in. That is what I'm good at. That is where my strong suit is. To put it simply, since I am not a fitness expert, I will not talk about it in my content or make it a part of my personal brand. That's not a part of my total addressable market or my TAM. I don't even call myself a branding expert, even though I've helped my clients generate millions of views because I don't believe in that word expert. People are always students, even experts. Yes, your professor that's teaching you in college right now is still a student, even though they're an expert. To give you another real world example, I'll use myself. I am in the creative consultant niche. It's hyper specific. I help business owners and creatives build their brand through building them personalized roadmaps to achieve that success. You want to help your audience that you're going to be getting from building your personal brand by helping them solve real world problems. So pick a niche where you can help a specific person solve an observable problem, meaning it's something that a lot of people have struggled with. The more specific, the better, which means the more valuable. You also want to confirm the demand for your niche by doing market research. So go to social media like Instagram, type in your niche, go to forums like Reddit and look up problems that people are actually facing right now. Of course, you can use AI to your benefit as well. Go to Claude or ChatGPT, make sure you have a pro subscription and prompt it to tell you some problems that people are facing within your niche right now. You also can use the AI to do some research on your TAM to see if it's growing year over year. You don't want to pick a niche that's not growing because if it's not growing, you won't be able to make money from the brand that you're trying to build. Before we move on to viewer, to clearly identify your niche, you have to identify your strengths and what you're actually good at and only talk about those things. Then you have to identify the problems that people are facing within your niche. And then lastly, you have to do some sort of market research to confirm that your niche is actually growing and it would make sense for you to build your personal brand within that niche. Once you've identified that niche and how you can specifically help people, then you can move on to viewer. You want to start by defining your IVP or your ideal viewer profile. For example, again, I help business owners and creatives who are just starting out grow and scale their personal brand. I help people by building them a personalized roadmap to do that. And by doing so, they can build their business and scale their brand by getting people to buy their offer. And please remember, if you aren't an expert, don't act like an expert. Think about it like this. If you're in college and you're a college freshman and you're studying aerospace engineering, your professor is an expert. You are not an expert. You are a student. You just don't have the skill, the proof, or the domain knowledge yet to be an expert. However, you can still teach people in high school about aerospace engineering because you are a level above them. Become the trailblazer. Become the person that people can learn from on the go. Do both. Teach and take people on that journey along with you so they can also learn from you. That's where I personally fall into the both category. Like I said earlier, I don't even call myself a branding expert because I'm always in student mode. I'm always trying to learn something new. But in that same token, I've also helped my clients generate millions of views, and I've also helped them make thousands of dollars. So I do know what I'm talking about just a little bit. Finding your ideal viewer profile should be easy if you understand the knowledge that you have on the subject matter that you're talking about and how your expertise can help one specific person. So that's really what the niche, viewer, and purpose framework is all about. Most people think that building a personal brand is all about going viral and posting content, but it's not. First, you need your purpose because your purpose is what keeps you going. It's the fuel to your fire. When the views are low or when things get difficult, use your purpose to help you push through it. If your purpose isn't strong enough, your brand won't be either. Next, you need your niche because your niche determines what problems you're going to be solving and the conversations that you're qualified to have. Don't think of your niche as a prison. It's simply a lane to help you create the most value for the people that you can help. And lastly, you need your viewer because if you don't know who you're helping, you'll end up helping nobody. The clearer you are on your viewer, the easier it becomes to create content that actually connects with the people you're supposed to be helping. Purpose tells you why you're building, your niche tells you what you're building around, and your viewer tells you who you're building it for. So what is my purpose, what is my niche, and who is my viewer? Once you have the answer to those three questions, you're no longer building your personal brand blindly, you're building it intentionally.